Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3 for the live stream. Well, apologies. It looks like we're going to start at 8 a.m. this morning. Well, a little after 10 after 8. So I'm going to hide my welcome here, but hopefully you guys are on and watching and enjoying the Riptide Intrasquad Meet. This is the 11 and 12-year-old version session. And we are just going through the announcements here. And we will come on to the American flag here in just a moment for our national anthem. Again, this is our intra-squad meet for March 15th, or March 15th. Boy, I wish it was March. For August 15th of 2020. And this is our 11 and 12-year-old session. Sorry, folks, we're just waiting on the national anthem here. Sorry, folks, a few technical difficulties this morning. We're working on it. All right, here we go. Wouldn't be live if there wasn't the problem. So we get past it, we move on, and we get to the kids swimming. Okay, we are starting with event number 13. This is a continuation from yesterday where we had 12 events of the senior circuit, as we call it. This is the mixed 11-12 200-yard IM. There is one heat. In lane 2, we have Molly Halting. In lane 3, we have Amy Birmingham. Lane 4, Everett Olson. Lane 5, Maddie Wenzel. And in lane 6, Grace Martin. All right, the 200 IM. 200 IM is a demanding event. It's a 50 or 100, depending on the 400 IM of each stroke. Some kids excel, are acceptable or not acceptable, but excel in the fly, some in the backstroke. Sometimes breaststroke is the big equalizer, right? Paul and I talked about that yesterday in the 400 IM, all the way up through the college, national, and Olympic ranks. When watching, NBC Sports, you'll see obviously the World Championships, the Olympics, things like that, and there'll be athletes that blow out into the butterfly and backstroke, and then the breaststroke, again, the great equalizer, the one where those excellent breaststrokers make up a whole bunch of time, and then everybody fights it out in the freestyle. So in lane 3 and 4, we've got Amy and Everett leading the pack right now. Out in 5, again, is Maddie Wenzel. And they are coming home on the second length of their 50 breaststroke of the 200 IM. With the parents in the stands cheering and the coaches cheering. A little different than a full-blown home meet, non-COVID years. But it works, and the kids appreciate it, I'm sure. Here we go on to the freestyle. Everybody's coming in pretty close to the same time. And we have we have Amy leading the pack here as we go. Oh, but don't count out Everett. Everett's making a run to the end. It's going to be very close. Amy's holding on. She's got about a head's length. And Amy pulls it out with a 246.75, which is an excellent drop for Amy. Lane 4, Everett, 247.5. Add a little bit of time, but again, this time of the season and with the circumstances we have, being anywhere close to your seed time is good. Okay, we have up next, we have event number 14, the mixed 11-12 50-yard breaststroke. So the format here is a little bit different from most meets. Trying to stretch things out a little bit. The kids will swim their event, their heat, and then they will move to a 50-yard cool down. And then we will begin the next heat. This morning's session is going to go fairly quickly. We only have about 29 to 30 kids swimming this morning. So I would bet that this event is going to go about an hour. And then we will stop the live stream and we will come back just before the start of session number 3, which will be our 10 and under session.
Next event will be event 14, mixed 11-12, 50-yard breaststroke.
Okay, this is the 50 breaststroke, as you probably heard our main announcer. This is lane 1. This is Emily Snyder. Lane 2, Isabel Gehrman. Lane 3, Lily Sisson. Lane 4, Grace Weischer. In lane 5, Taylor Hintz. Lane 6, Caroline Fowler. In lane 7, Jenna O'Keefe. And in lane 8, Lyric Showalter. And as you can see on screen, the kids come off their events and they go right to their coaches, to the coaches' tables after throwing their masks on. And we do have a coach cam today, as you can see in your bottom right corner. You can see the tables all lined up. You can see Michaela, closest to you, giving some examples of what to change, what to fix possibly. Here we go with the 50 breaststroke. There is one heat. Okay, on the initial breakout, looks like we have Lily Sisson taking off and leading the pack. Back in lane, or over in lane 4, Gracie has made up the space, and they are now head and head into the pullout for the return on the 50. Don't count out lane number 5. We got Taylor over there catching up as well. We've got a race for first here. It looks like Gracie is going to touch them out. Yep, there we go. So Gracie, 38.23. Which, again, is a little bit of an ad, but, again, talking to Mike and Amy yesterday here at the meet, their expectations are they want the kids to race, and they want the kids to get the feel for racing since we're doing so much practicing. They don't want them to lose that. So this is more what this is about, is mid-season and, of course, a weird season, but it's all about the racing. Well, we've actually cut the 50-yard cool down to a turn in the middle of the pool. So it looks like we're just doing a 25-yard cool down here. So this is going to go a little bit faster this morning than I think we expected. Up next, we have event number 15, the 11-12 100-yard freestyle. We have 2 heats. In the first heat, in lane 3, will be Haley Courtney. In lane 4 will be Jalen Young. And in lane 5 will be Joey Kunze. And Haley Courtney comes in with a no time. It's very well could be Haley's first swim of this at the ripe age of 11 years old. So excellent. We'll see how she does. And then after this, we'll move on to Heat 2. Glad you could join us today. I know we have very limited seating for parents to watch, grandparents to watch. So I'm glad we could get this live stream up and running for you all, and that you can enjoy it from wherever you are. Oh, Paul Smith is listening. Paul was on mic with me yesterday and gave some very interesting and needed commentary to keep this thing lively. And he is, of course, commenting on my drolling on this morning. So, Paul, I'm sorry, it will never be as lively as it is with you sitting next to me. All right, here we go with Heat 1, the 100 freestyle. As a reminder, all these events are mixed, so it is male and female. And they are off into the water. Again, looks like it's probably Haley's first time swimming this, since she does not have a time. So that's very exciting. And we've got Jalen taking off at the very start of this, looking good, looking fast. You know, some of these big time drops you're going to see are, you know, possibly the effect of a couple of things. One is maybe these kids haven't swam this for quite a while, but it also could be just that strength is growing. They're growing in height. They're growing in strength. So there's a couple of different factors there, but generally most of the time drops are because an event hasn't been swam in a year. And you're, of course, going to make those significant drops when you haven't swam the event. So we'll see how this goes. Got Jalen leading. We got Joey out there. It's probably not Jalen. It's probably Jalen, would be my guess. They can, if parents are watching, they can correct me. Well, here comes Jalen now. He's coming into the event with a 1:21.16, and I think he's going to drop some time here. He's going to be about a 1:17.7. Very good. Nice swim. And we have Joey coming in, who was at a 1:31.1, and he is going to smash that at a 1:24.7. And Haley is coming along just fine. She is doing very well for her first attempt at this. Crowd's going crazy. And when she's done, I hope she's very excited because this will be a great swim for her. 1:48.1. All right, they're going to go on their easy half pool length swim and back. We will start with heat number 2 in the 100 freestyle. In lane 1, we're going to have Zoe Faust. In lane 2, Liam Weifring. In lane 3, Isabel Scrafford. In lane 4, William Radetsky. Lane 5, Isaac Wynn. In lane 6, Nolan Hansen. Lane 7 will be Lucy Werdick. And in lane 8 will be Sydney Mccusker. We'll move to the coach cam here for a minute so you can see the kids talking with their coaches. See Maggie over there. Looks like she had some surgery. She's on crutches. We're going to try to have some of the coaches up here today to give us some insight on the swimmers. Our announcer is... You can hear our announcer today, that's for sure. Maggie wasn't willing to navigate the stairs today, which is understandable. So we're going to leave her down on the pool deck. But I'm hoping Amy will come up at some point this morning and talk to us a little bit about how things are going and expectations and how she thinks the kids are swimming. Here we go with heat number 2.
Heat 2.
And we have a shout out from Texas this morning. That's great. We had obviously Minnesota yesterday. We had Wisconsin, North Carolina, Florida, and now Texas we can add to that. They're giving a shout out to Isaac and Sophie. So that's great to hear. If you want to do shout outs, please send them across chat. I will be more than happy to give those shout outs. All right, out in lane 4, looks like we have William leading the pack. William is coming into this with a 1:00.18. The big thing in the 100 freestyle, of course, crack that minute mark. That's every kid's goal. You'll never see a bigger smile when the kid cracks that 1 minute mark for the first time. So let's see what William can do here. We got fairly even behind him, kids coming in. And he's at 57, 58, 59. Oh, 1 minute.12. So it is a little bit of a drop, 6 100ths, that much closer to the 1 minute mark. All right, looks like we have some time drops here for these 11, 12-year-olds. Almost everybody there did some time drops, so that's good. That's great news. We are going to move on to event number 16, the mixed 11-12 100-yard backstroke. We have 1 heat and 2 kids. This one should be fairly easy to call and easy to watch for me, so hopefully I don't screw this one up too bad. Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. We got Puerto Rico. That's awesome. Go Isabel from Puerto Rico. I got to start marking all these down. So we can should have a map to mark all the states and countries and that these kids are being watched from. It's excellent. They'll love that. So, yep, from Puerto Rico, go Isabel. Okay, up again is the 100-yard backstroke. We'll go again to the coach cam here so you can see the kids talking to their coaches. In lane 4, we're going to have Maddie Wenzel, and in lane 5 we're going to have Lyric Showalter. Now Lyric just came off the 50 breaststroke, so she's had about 4 minutes of rest. So we'll see how that goes here. Unfortunately, in this kind of setup, it's going to go fast. But these kids have great stamina. They're young, much younger than I am, and they can handle this kind of thing. So don't worry about them. They'll be fine. And there they both are. Again, Maddie Wenzel in lane 4, Lyric Showalter in lane 5. All right, we've got a shout out in live time from Maddie Wenzel, who is currently swimming the 100 backstroke. The shout out is from Maplewood, Minnesota. Thank you for joining us again this morning. Maddie is making her first turn in the 100 backstroke, followed closely behind by Lyric in lane 5. Like I said, Lyric just came off another event. She looks great. It's tough to tire these kids out. And hopefully, for you parents out there, hopefully they sleep better at night with stuff like this going on. The toughest 10 weeks, I think, in parenting for me was the 10 weeks that both my kids were off of swimming because of the COVID lockdown. You got 2 kids twiddling their thumbs, having no idea what to do with themselves, and up until all hours because of it. So I'm glad they're back swimming. It's great that the school's coming up and getting started again. High school swimming is going to be a thing, it looks like. So giving that little bit of normality, we hope. And here comes Maddie. Maddie comes in with a 1:18.81, and she is going to come in just a little bit under that, about a half-second drop. Very good. Nice job, Maddie. And here comes Lyric. And Lyric is going to come in just about her seed time at a 1:26.91. All right, we are on time. This event should be starting at 8:34. It is currently 8:31. I think by the time they hit the water, we will be on time. Riptide, of course, prides themselves on being well-run swim meets. We've been running great meets for as long as I've been here, and I think we were one of the first families to come on to Riptide when they opened. So no different here. We've got a great staff. We've got great volunteers in officiating, starting, timing. And again, this is another shout out to the volunteering. If you want to have first-hand looks at your children swimming, volunteering is the way to go, right? Timers have the best seat in the house. They are right there to see their kids swim. So please consider volunteering for about anything we have. Again, we have limited seating up on top of the bleachers. We probably have eight or 10 parents up here this morning, so we've got a good showing. Normally, of course, we'd have a couple hundred parents in the stands, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, we are moving on to event number 17. There is 2 heats. This is heat number 1. In lane 2, we have Joey Kunze. In lane 3, Liam Grange. Lane 4, Zoe Faust. Lane 5, Sydney Mccusker. And in lane 6, Kate Lebo. We have 3 kids here with the 100 IM that looks like they have no time, so maybe first swims for them as well. If you can see on deck, one of our officials today is Teresa Jurish. Call out to Teresa. She does a lot of officiating for Riptide. Her daughter has graduated and is off to college, and Teresa still comes down and officiates, or I should say come up. She lives a little bit west of Cannon Falls, so she comes up to officiate our meets and kind of hang out with us. So here we go. Again, Joey lane 2, Liam in lane 3, Zoe in lane 4, Sydney in lane 5, and Kate in lane 6. And the 100 IM. I love watching these kids because a year from now, they won't even be recognizable with their strokes, and that's the great thing to watch. Is, especially in the IM, you get a little glimpse of every stroke, and you see the weaknesses, and you see the great things about their stroke, their turns, their underwaters. And if you could keep this, make a snapshot of it, and look at it a year from now and compare it, you'll be amazed at what these kids will do in a short term of a year. And forget about it in 5 years. They'll be swimming like crazy in 5 years. So it's super fun to watch. Okay, out in the breaststroke, it looks like out in lane 5, we have Sydney leading early morning for me. Leading the pack at the turn, coming to the freestyle. In lane 4, we have Zoe following closely behind, with Joey out in lane 2, trying to track her down. Oh, we've got a push with Zoe in lane 4. She's coming after it. It's just a little too late, unfortunately. So we got Sydney, who's going to take this heat with a 133.79, which is an excellent drop for her from 147.75. So congratulations there. And our first-time swimmers did that very well. I didn't see any hands up. I didn't see any disqualifications. And it's all you can ask for, especially when you're looking at all 4 strokes. Okay, they're going to go on their half swim here, half warm down, cool down. And we're going to move on to heat number 2. And in lane number 1 is going to be Ilona Delaney. In lane 2, Katie Rucci. In lane 3, Lucas Paul. Lane 4 will be Gracie Weischer. In lane 5, Isaac Wynn. Lane 6, Lily Sisson. In lane 7, Grace Martin. And in lane 8 is Emily Snyder. And we have a call out from Georgia. Very good. For Ilona. Go Ilona from We Love You. And they are watching from Georgia. That's excellent. Georgia's where my mom is from. I've spent a lot of time in southern Georgia, down in the Adel area, about 3.5 hours south of Atlanta. So, welcome. We've got some people watching from Lakeville this morning. Go Grace Martin, and another Go Ilona as well from Charlene Delaney. So that's great. Got some good shout outs going this morning. We'll go back to the coaches cam here so we can look at kids talking to the coaches. Oh, we got another shout out for Grace from Danbury, Wisconsin. Wonderful. Thank you. And we've got a shout out for Isaac. Awesome. Thank you very much. Go Isaac. And here they go. Again, we have Ilona in 1, Katie in 2, Lucas in 3, Gracie in 4, Isaac in 5, Lily in 6, Grace in 7, and Emily in 8. We've got about 43 people online watching this morning, it looks like, so thank you for joining us again. We've got an Austin, Texas. Go Isaac. Thank you very much for that. And we have, everybody here has time, so everybody here has swam this, so we're going to see a little bit better of strokes, a little more refined, and a little bit faster swims here. And we've got a race going in 3 and 4 right now between Lucas and Gracie. And they are head to head. And a lot of these kids swim together. You know, they might be next to each other in practice, so they know how each other swims, and there's always good competition there. And we are still head to head. Let's see who who's got the breaststroke here. And it looks like out in lane 4, Gracie has the breaststroke part of this one. She's going to take off and make the turn into the freestyle at the head of the pack. From my bird's eye view up here, everybody looks great. Everybody is swimming really well. And Gracie's going to finish up this heat in first place. And now we've got a battle for second going on and for third. All right, Gracie's going to win this heat. And she's going to have a drop as well of about a second. In lane 3, Lucas is coming in second. He also has a good drop. Looks like we're dropping all across the board, so this is fantastic. Great swims, great swims. All right, we are moving on to a favorite of the kids. This is the event number 18, the 50-yard freestyle. This is a kids' favorite, an announcer's nightmare, trying to get all those names in before those kids touch the wall. A little bit different here. We have some extra time, so it won't be such a big deal. There are 2 heats. Heat number 1, in lane 3 will be Haley Courtney. In lane 4 will be Joey Coonsey, and in lane 5 will be Liam Grange. Okay, everybody here has times as well, so pretty much everybody's going to swim the 50 freestyle, unless it's your very first meet ever. You have a time. To get into meets like this where you hit the 400 IM and maybe the 1,000 or the mile for the first time when you turn 13, you see a lot of no times at that point. 50 freestyle is a pretty good one, though, where it's pretty much a given that you're going to have that your child is going to have a time. They swim that first thing first when they're 8 and under, and then they have a time from then on out. All right, and here we go. Again, Haley in lane 3, Joey in lane 4, and Liam in lane 5. All right, off we go. It's like the early lead is going out to Joey. He is going to turn first, but everybody else is in quick pursuit. Joey makes the turn in about 18 seconds. Joey comes into this with a 41.68. I'm going to make a guess that he's going to have a pretty good drop here. Again, 41.68 is what Joey is looking to drop under. And at the flags, he's at 34 seconds. So he's going to do very well here with about a 38.6. We have Liam coming in. Well, looks like he must have had a soft touch over there in lane 5, so I'm not really sure. And Haley is right about at her seed time. That 50.00 is not correct. Again, that's a soft touch. Again, you can you can check Meet Mobile as well to get the official times. Everything here today and yesterday from the senior group is on Meet Mobile. If you're in Minnesota or if you're in the Apple Valley, Rosemont, Egan area, you can hit Meets Near Me, and it will pull up the Riptide Intrasquad Meet. If you are not in the area and you want to check Meet Mobile, you just have to search on 2020 MNRIPT August Intrasquad, and you will come up with with this meet to get the official times. Again, that 50 seconds for Liam is not correct. That will be fixed by the officials, and then uploaded properly into Meet Mobile. Okay, we are going to move on to heat number 2. In lane 1 will be Lyric Showalter. Lane 2 will be Isabel Scrafford. In lane 3, Nolan Hansen. Lane 4 will be Taylor Hintz. Lane 5, Amy Birmingham. In lane 6, Jenna O'Keefe. And in lane 7 will be Molly Halting. Lane 8 will be empty this morning. Taylor Hintz is coming into this at a 29.6. So she has broken that sub 30. And again, that's for the 50 freestyle, like the 100 freestyle, where the goal is a minute or to break a minute. It's every kid's wanting. That's a big milestone, big stepstone for them to break this 30 seconds. So let's see who else, if we can get more people under that 30 second. We got a good race here between Taylor and Amy. And it is going to be close. I believe Taylor is going to take this one at a 29.6. And Amy just missing that under 30 by 17/100ths of a second. But it looks like Amy dropped some time. Got a few ads in there, but nothing terrible. Although 6 may have been a soft touch. We'll have to check on that one. Yep, Lyric was a drop. Isabel 34.59, a little bit of an ad, but close to her seed time. And Nolan with a drop at 31.06. Next, we'll be moving on to event number 19, the mixed 11-12 50-yard butterfly. There's 2 heats. Funny enough, there's more kids than this than there was in the 50 freestyle, which is interesting. But I wasn't a flyer. I would never pick the fly over the freestyle, but that's just me. So event number 19 again. Heat 1 will be lane 3, Ilona Delaney. Lane 4, Liam Weefring. Lane 5, Isabel Gehrman. And in lane 6, Kate Lebo. We got a bunch of shout outs again for Isaac. Oh, I think that was from earlier, maybe. I could be reading that wrong. Yeah, it was a little bit earlier. Apologize. But anyway, love to give as many shout outs as we can. Here we go again. Lane 3, Ilona. Lane 4, Liam. Lane 5, Isabel. And lane 6 is Kate. Got a couple of no times here, so very possibly, again, some first-time 50 butterflyers. Good underwaters there out of lane 3, which is Ilona Delaney. And we've got a pretty good race going into the turn there, all 3 touching within about a half a second of each other. And it is going to be a dogfight coming back. There's something very funny about the 50 fly is when you're young like this and you're new to it, it's all arms. It's a very, that's a good touch there by Liam. They're all arms in the 50 fly. They figure out their legs a little bit later. And then that's when you see the times really speed up. And it looks like we had some big drops there. Liam went from 45.3 down to a 36.7, which is an amazing 9-second drop. Isabel out in lane 5 went from a 50.65 down to a 40.95, so almost a 10-second drop in that one. So these kids are coming along really well. For the first-time swimmers, Ilona and Kate in that 50 fly, very respectable, very nicely done times. Especially Ilona out there, 38.9. I mean, what a great swim. What a great first-time swim. Okay, next up we have heat number 2. In lane 1 will be Jalen Young. Lane 2, Kate Rucci. Lane 3, Lucas Paul. In lane 4, William Radetsky. Lane 5, Everett Olson. Lane 6, Lucy Werdick. Lane 7, Caroline Fowler. And in lane 8, Emily Snyder. And we have a shout out for Jaylin for the 50 fly. And here we are about to go live with Jaylin. Again, Jaylin in 1, Katie in 2, Lucas in 3, William in 4, Everett in 5, Lucy in 6, Caroline in 7, and Emily in 8. Twelve-year-old William looks like he's out first at the turn for the 50 fly. He's got a couple people here in good pursuit, Lucas and Everett. And it looks like he is going to take the 50 fly final heat here. And William coming in at 31.5 will finish with a 32.5. Everett with an inbound time of 33, about 34. And Lucas coming in with a 36.9, dropping down to a 35. So great swim there for Lucas. And again, anything near these kids' seed times is fantastic, right? This is, we're at a part of the season where we wouldn't normally be. These kids would probably be on break if this was a normal non-COVID season. But it is where we are, and this being kind of their mid-season to end of season with no taper, these are great times. There's no problem here at all. Again, the coaches are focused on racing. They're focused on the small things, the starts, the turns, the underwaters, and I don't mean small as in like they don't matter much, but they're looking for those things that can turn a race. All right, we are moving on to event number 20. There is one heat in the 100-yard breaststroke. In lane 2, we will have Liam Grange. Lane 3, Molly Hulting. Lane 4, Grace Wishar. Lane 5, Isaac Lynn. And in lane 7, Zoe Faust. All right, we have a shout out for Nolan and Jace Hansen. We have some people watching from Winona, Minnesota. Great, welcome to the broadcast. We also have a call out to Isabel for a great swim in the 50 fly. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We hope to keep bringing you these broadcasts They make a lot of sense, especially during COVID, where there's limited people that can attend, but it also makes sense for, the winter months where we have a lot of grandparents and others going south or going to, even cabins, winter homes, vacation, whatever it might be. You can still tune in and watch. And we've meant to do this for a few years, and we finally got around to it. And I'm hoping everybody enjoys what they're watching. So out in lane 4, we have Gracie turning for the final 25. We have Molly and Isaac, who just made the turn and are fighting for that second spot. Everybody looks very good. Turns look good. Gracie is going to come in and touch first. Again, she was 124.07 coming in, and she's right on it. 124.22, very nice swim. And we had Molly and Isaac touching right there. Molly coming in at 136.7. She looks like she had about a 5-second drop. And Isaac coming to 127.30. A little bit of an ad, but again, nothing significant for this time of year. Yeah, we have a shout out from Ely, Minnesota, watching granddaughter Katie Rucci. Thank you again for watching. Glad that we can provide this service. I want to thank you very much for the kind words about the announcing. I appreciate that as well. And we are going on our 25 cool down here. Got a nice job for Isaac. Thank you. Again, this broadcast should be available shortly, if not immediately after it is concluded, up on YouTube on the Riptide site. So if you know people that wanted to watch, were busy, meetings, whatever, just send them the link. They can watch it through its entirety. Again, we are now at 8:56, and we are scheduled to be done by 9:10. So this is going to be a short session of about an hour. So not too long to sit down and watch a neighbor or a grandkid or a sibling, swim their events. All right, 100 breaststroke is now complete. We are moving on to event number 21. I'm going to wait for the announcer here. Just give me 1 second. It's always great having enthusiastic announcers.
Maddie Wenzel. Lane 4, Taylor Hintz. Lane 5, Lily Sisson. Lane 6, Katie Rucci. Lane 7, Grace Martin.
All right, we are moving on to the 200 freestyle. In lane 2, Liam Weifring. In lane 3, Maddie Wenzel. Lane 4, Taylor Hintz. In lane 5, Lily Sisson. Lane 6, Katie Rucci. And in lane 7, Grace Martin. Looks like we have everybody here who has swam the 200 freestyle before, so we have some veterans, which is always great to see. Love to watch these kids swim this 200 freestyle event. It is an event that is wrought with tension. It's always, Paul and I spoke about it yesterday on the live stream for the older kids. And there's so many different coaching styles, so many different thoughts on how a 200 should be swam. And, everybody you ask will have a different opinion on it. I think it's very important for the kids to come to some kind of understanding with their coach and trust in their training on the 200 freestyle. It's a difficult event. It's one that a lot of kids will swim the 500 versus the 200 because they just don't know. They will tell you, I don't know how to swim this event. So it's good to see them swimming it. It's good to see that there's interest, and hopefully, they can work it out with their coach as to good strategies for swimming this event more in the future. So out in lane 4, we have Taylor Hintz leading the group. She's coming in at a 2:15.61. And she should be turning here at the she's coming in for the 150. And we have out in lane 2, we have Maddie Wenzel, who has got the second place solid up right now. And then there's the battle for third going on between lane 3, 5, and 6. I'm sorry, I think I said that wrong. I think lane 2 is Liam. And Liam is being challenged by Katie out in lane 6 right now, with Maddie Wenzel and Lily Sisson going for that third spot. But it's anyone's game for that second place right now. Here comes Taylor. Again, 2:15.61. She's going to be close. She's going to add a few seconds, but nothing big. And again, we've got the battle in 2 and 6 for second place. Liam and Katie. And it looks like Katie's just going to get Liam there. So great swim by everyone. Out in lane 7, we've got Grace coming in. Grace still looks strong. It's great to see these kids still have their stroke together and still holding it together really well at the end of the 200. And Grace is no different. She looks great. All right, they're going to go on their cool down. We're going to move on to event number 22, the 11-12 50-yard backstroke. There are 2 heats. We've got a comment on the streaming service that is going to be awesome going forward. It's great to hear. I agree completely. You know, if you have grandparents or people that you know that don't want to drive in the winter, you know, Minnesota, driving a mile can be treacherous. So if you're not comfortable driving in snow or we get a big snowstorm, generally we still have the meets. You know, even at 6, 8, 10 inches of snow, we'll still have a meet. But again, like you said, no, some people aren't comfortable driving in that, and that's great. That's why we want to provide this service. Throw the coach cam on here. All right, for the 50 backstroke in heat 1, we're going to have Haley Courtney in lane 2, Jalen Young in lane 3, Ilona Delaney in lane 4, Lucy Werdick in lane 5, and Kate Lebo in lane 6. Okay, again, the 50-yard backstroke. And into the water they go on the second whistle. Very nice underwater out there in lane 5 by, who do we got in lane 5? By Lucy. Lane 4 is going to turn first. That is Ilona Delaney. She is kicking in here, and she is more than likely going to take this heat. Everybody looks nice and strong. Good kicking, good arms. And Lucy made a run there at the end, but Ilona takes it in lane 4. Soft touch, so please don't pay attention to the time that's coming up. Go ahead and check Meet Mobile for her final time. But my guess is she's going to be right at her seat or just under her seat time. So very nicely done. Okay, we are moving on to heat number 2, the final heat of the 50-yard backstroke. We have Jenna O'Keefe in lane 1, Nolan Hansen in lane 2. In lane 3, Everett Olson. Lane 4, Lucas Paul. Lane 5 will be Amy Birmingham. Lane 6, Isabel Scrafford. Lane 7, Caroline Fowler. And in lane 8 is Isabel Gehrman. 50-yard backstroke is, and the 100-yard backstroke, 200-yard backstroke. Very interesting events. Of course, we have, a world record holder in the 100 and 200 breaststroke or 100 and 200 backstroke here at Riptide, our own Reagan Smith. I think if we had Reagan sitting here next to us, she would probably tell you that, the underwaters on the backstroke are one of the most important things that a kid can learn. You are fast underwater. And if you watch anything that Reagan does on TV, if you watch the World Championships or anything like that, and hopefully we'll have the Olympic trials here next year, you will see that she spends a lot of time underwater on every turn. And that is a very important part of the backstroke. We have a shout out for Isabel. Excellent. Thank you for that. Isabel, you've got that shout out going. And we have a shout out to the Riptide live stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, again, the second and final heat of the 50-yard backstroke. Jenna in 1, Nolan in 2, Everett in 3, Lucas in 4, Amy in 5, Isabel in 6, Caroline in 7, and Isabel Gehrman in lane 8. And off they go. Good underwater. Boy, look at that lane 7. Lane 7, Caroline Fowler had a fantastic underwater. And they are all pretty even coming in. It looks like lane 3 is going to be Everett making the turn first with Lucas Paul. Don't count out lane 6 over there. That is Isabel Scrafford. She is holding tight, and she may pull this out. Oh, it's all going to come down to the touch. And in lane 3, Everett just touches her out at 36.03. And Isabel Scrafford at a 36.35. So really great event right there. That was fun to watch. They're going to go off on their cool down. And we're going to move on to event number 23. The mixed 11-12 100-yard butterfly. We have one heat and we have one swimmer. The 100 fly is a very daunting event. 200 fly, even more daunting. The 200 fly is an event that my son, who is now 16, refuses to swim. I'm hoping Mike Parado changes his mind. But that being said, it wasn't my favorite event. I think I swam it maybe once. So it's one of those events you love or you hate. 100 butterfly, a little bit better, not quite as daunting as that 200 fly. But we have Sydney Mccusker in lane 4, and she will be our only swimmer. And it looks like a first-time swim for Sydney, so we're going to have plenty of people here cheering her on for this one. And here comes Sydney. And a shout out to Isabel. Well done. Congratulations. Yes. Great swims. Okay, there goes the whistle for Miss Sydney. And she is going to be the center of attention on this 100-yard butterfly. Every coach having their eye on her since she's the only kid swimming. Again, Sydney is coming into this with no time. This must be a first 100 fly swim. She looks good and strong. Looks like maybe Dad is in the audience videotaping. So that's great to see that he was able to get in here and see his daughter live. Wonderful. And at the 50, she touches in about a 44.9. And Sydney is coming along. A butterfly is a lot about strength and a lot about coordination. And that's learned, as the kids get older and as the kids get stronger. So, where Sydney is a good example here of a young kid who's swimming it for her first time, maybe doesn't know how to swim it totally, from a strategy point of view, which she shouldn't. Sydney's 12. So that'll be figured out with her and her coaches as time goes by. And she will learn that, the strength will come, the timing will come, and the strategy will come as well. She'll incorporate the kick a little bit more to give her arms a little bit of a rest. But she is doing just fine, and she's going to touch in a 1:43.12. Very good for her first swim.
Good job. All right, let's do a half back swim. Go ahead. Cool off.
We are moving on to event number 24. I guess you could call it mixed 11, 12, 500 yard freestyle. There's only one swimmer, and that is William Radetsky. And again, this is the 500 yard freestyle. This is one of my favorite events. I swam it in high school and in club.
Listen, folks, while we prepare for the last event, I want to just wish a big hearty thank you to everyone involved in the event today, from our coaches, to swimmers, to our officials, our spectators, our parents, and those of you at home on the internet. Thanks again. We couldn't do this without your support.
The announcer just thanking the fans and the coaches and the officials and the people online watching. I would echo that. Thank you for watching and giving us the chance to talk you through this and for you to watch your kids and grandkids swim. Again, we will have lane 4. We'll have William Radetsky. He's coming in at a 5:44.82. And again, one of my favorite events. I was humbled enough to watch my son swim it this fall for high school, or last winter for high school, I should say. And it has also come up as one of his favorite events as well. So it's near and dear to my heart, the 500, the 1,000, and the mile. So off goes young William at the ripe age of 12 in 5:44.82. We'll see how this goes. Some kids are self-motivated. Some kids need those kids next to them to push them a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys watch. I'm going to give my voice a break for a second, and I'll be back with you shortly. All right, I'm back with you here for the finish up of the 500 freestyle. William is coming in on his 200, and he's going to flip turn here at about the 2:14 mark. And William has 300 yards left, pacing out at 33.6 right now. This event will finalize this morning's session. The stream will end And the stream will start up again for the 10 and under session, which I'm not even sure what time it's at, probably about 10:30 or 11 o'clock. So there will be a break in the session if you're interested in coming back and watching the cute 10 and unders. They're a bunch of great kids. We have a ton of them. I don't know how many are swimming today, but we have a fair amount, which is good. The program is growing, and we're starting to see, a lot of kids that started as 10 and unders, 8 and unders, that have swam the cycle and are now graduating and going off to college, that have spent their entire club career with Riptide. It's great to see. Comes William into his turn at the 300. And let's see that split at 35 flat, so still holding it together. You can hear Amy in the background. Maybe throw on the coach cam. Maybe, if I can get it to work. There we go. I don't think there's anybody who wants to get back to competing more than our coaches, and the kids, of course. I know as a parent that, this time that we've been in lockdown and away from swimming for that 10 weeks was pure torture, right? I found myself, and I still find myself to this day, maybe you do too, watching, the reruns from the World Championships in Wangzhou, and, I've watched stuff from the London Olympics, the Rio Olympics, going back as far as Australia. And they have, on NBC Sports or the Olympic Channel, they've got all this stuff going all the time. And, I often have my wife walk into the room and go, seriously, you're watching this again? And, I found myself just hanging outside the windows watching the kid, watching my daughter or my son practice, because you really miss the sport. And you don't realize, how much you miss it until it's taken away like this. So it's great to be back in this format. I'm excited to be watching anybody, swim at this point. And I don't think that myself, personally, I don't think I'll ever take it for granted again. So William turns in his final 50. You heard the bell. This is what's called the bell lap. And it is the final 50 of the 500 or the 1,000 or the mile that gets the bell for the lead swimmer. And he turned at 34:28 at his 450 mark. And again, William was at 5:44.82, and he is going to blow that out of the water. He's going to drop some time. He's probably going to be about 5:40 or so, and he is 5:40.69. That is a great 4-second drop for him, and what a way to end the session. So with that, I'm going to leave the sound on for a little bit so you can hear some of the sounds and coaches, and we'll leave that on for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll sign out of this broadcast. Thank you again for watching the 11-12s this morning, and again, we will pick up the 10 and unders, I believe, around 10:30 or 11 o'clock. Thanks again.